All right, everybody. Welcome back to Neurotic News. Thanks for listening. You know, blah blah blah, fucking all that. All the stuff we might say at the start. I guess
Man,
Patreon, Edinburgh, blah blah blah. Anyway, who cares? How are you?
yeah, man. I just I don't know if I told you, but I live near a CrossFit gym.
You do?
Yeah, and one of the workouts is they leave the gym and do a lap around the block.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. They often in the middle of the workout,
Yeah.
they incorporate running around the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
they
It's
throw tires and flip tires and then
Mm.
leave the gym and run around the block. And I can't afford a membership,
Mm-hmm.
so I just hang out the front and join in.
When it's going around.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's bits free.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do it.
Yeah. Especially if you look like a vagrant, like got shit on you, you kind of tracksuit, your hair's disheveled,
Yeah,
and you scream.
yeah.
It kind of adds to the energy of the group.
Yeah, you go, ah! But they write
Ah.
positive slogans on the chalk.
Oh, they do on the
pavement.
footpath?
Have you seen that?
No.
It'll be like, be
Keep-
kind,
Keep going.
be good, you can do it.
Push yourself.
And it's funny because if you're homeless, it's like that's your throw pillow that you sleep on is the
Right.
slogan they wrote in chalk, like
Mm.
live, love, laugh. And then a
That's where
vagrant's
you're
just sleeping on it. Like,
Yeah. Giving him positive vibes. Yeah, well, I kind of feel like, we're talking about like gentrification, stuff like that. I kind of feel like, for me, I feel like I've transitioned from being a bogan to like an inner city wanker
yeah,
over the period of my life. Because I went to like public school in a regional Queensland town, a very conservative town, played rugby league, and grew up in an all boys family, and was like really bogan, worked out the back of my dad's tent shop. And now, like the other day, I found myself in Fitzroy wearing vintage clothes and going to an organic shop.
yeah.
So I've sort of transitioned, sort of straddle both worlds, kind of.
You gentrified yourself.
Yeah, I've gentrified myself.
Yeah,
Like I could work serving at an organic shop, but I could also help back in the truck of the alternative milks, like with the guy, like, yep, this way, like swing it.
they don't know what side you're on.
Yeah. I could be a spy.
Yeah, you're kind of the bridge between worlds.
Yeah.
They could study you as a
Yep.
a center point of the whole process.
Of
Like you're like
gentrification.
if the abstract concept of gentrification became sentient.
Right. I'm the personification of it.
And it's weird. I've seen the opposite. To you.
Really? The
I've-
opposite.
I saw a guy that was in an improv troupe.
Oh, no.
Was doing like my liege.
Mm.
Just through the sheer aspect of performing in Queensland, has become blokier.
Wow.
It's
I've not seen it go the other way.
because having to deal with emceeing a concreters luncheon has acted like a kind of weird testosterone replacement therapy.
Right.
Because now he's like, "What are you doing, mate?" Yeah, like he's doing that.
So he came from Sydney
Yeah,
improv scene,
yeah,
which is even, shall I use the term loosely, wankier
yeah,
than a lot of theatre stuff in some respects. And he's gone from that to Queensland improv that's actually made him more blokey.
Well, what's happened is that the first time I saw him, he was dressed as a marshmallow, going like,
Right.
"It's not me, my lord." And now, because now he's doing like stand-up comedy in clubs,
He's
In
become
Queensland,
like, g'day, mate,
like
how
taverns.
are
I mean,
you? Oh, the taverns will do that.
and the taverns have added, like, instead of getting an injection of testosterone, it's almost like he's become blokier just from the environment.
Right, yes.
Like it's probably changed his hormone profile. It's just
Yeah.
having to deal with like not getting cow punched at the Dog and Parrot.
Right, the fear of it and stuff. His body's adapted with the hormones and so on, because there are pokies, and in the pokies someone's betting their life and it goes wrong and they're like screaming and so on, and your body starts reacting to building testosterone. Those threats don't exist in improv.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Zelensky's going through a similar thing. He was an improviser comedian, the president of the Ukraine. I don't know if people listening know that, but I didn't know that. But yeah, he was a comedian,
Yeah.
improviser. He was in theatre sports.
Yes, and
Yes, and now he's fighting Putin for the survival of his country. I'd imagine it'd be similar, wouldn't it? He'd be a bit more, get a bit more thick skin.
Yeah, I'd imagine that he's not going to like, you know, curate the Dungeons and Dragons night anymore.
He hasn't got time.
He's like, no, you got to fucking stop this bullshit, you know?
Yeah, sign up to the war. Sign up to help fight in the war instead of going 10 points down for my dragon's shield is low.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not, like, he had to tell his improv troupe, he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And they're like, you've changed, man. The invasion of this country's changed you.
It's really changed you, like the fact that they did a drone strike on the McDonald's. I mean, it's changed you. Like you're wearing military fatigues.
It's horrible. But
no, but it's similar.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
Like he would have been like Malij or whatever the Ukrainian, whatever that sounds like when you pretend to be a dragon hunter.
Yeah. Medieval reenactments fascinate me. People that do medieval reenactments.
Well, I accidentally did a medieval reenactment the other day.
How do you accidentally do one?
Because I had an umbrella and I had to get a Lime bike.
Oh.
But there was nowhere to put the umbrella, so I had to hold it out
like a
this
sword.
On the bike. Yeah, it was like a sword and the bike was like a horse. And it felt like I was galloping, and then I saw like another incel on a Lime bike with an umbrella, like
another incel,
like coming at me, and it felt like we were jousting. Like I was like, my liege, like I had to pretend you disrespected my wife that I've never had, like
right, yeah,
gouge his eye out for dishonoring her, you know.
The postmodern jousting.
Log into a Lime bike with an umbrella and charge at another one.
You know, it has
the dystopian jingle of a Lime bike getting activated.
And there's someone obese in a motorized scooter and he's like the king.
Yeah.
He's got all the flags. You know, they always have all the flags on
all the countries they conquered.
By conquered, you mean like wish they'd gone to in their motorized scooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the sleep apnea mask.
Well, they are like pirates because they're often missing a foot. Like all they're missing is the parrot.
Yeah, right.
Which would be a good emotional support animal.
The parrot is a good emotional support animal for a pirate.
Yeah.
Because pirates are amputees. No one talks about that. They're missing an arm and a leg. Like if they were around today, they'd be in the Paralympics for sailing.
Yeah.
You know?
They'd win.
They would, because they'd be ruthless.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like, you know, we've talked about it before, but pirates, Darth Vader, the Emperor, these are disabled people that are strong villains. You know, you don't see enough of that. They don't, they're not, you know, they're not fucking around. These guys are like serious. They're some of the most evil characters that we've had in our lore, like in our society, ideas and stories. And
for some reason, it's the only group you're allowed to make a villain.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you're allowed to like have Hook with a hook for a hand.
Yeah.
Like, why is that allowed? Like,
yeah, it is weird because it is.
That's just a minority group.
That's a minority, marginalized, disabled group. Like he would be on the NDIS. Hook, Captain Hook.
When you're a kid and you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, with his hook, and it's like, no, he lost
an arm. You cunt. Like, give him a break. You fucking
a whale or something. Like a whale or something bit it off. I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah, I'd say he lost it in his.
He's trying to fuck up a whale.
Or a sword fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the whale's a bit out there, but I mean,
today it'd be an industrial accident, like you'd get it caught.
Yeah.
In the roller or whatever.
Well, that's the thing is like when someone has a prosthetic limb, it doesn't automatically make them a victim.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how they lost it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like some people like, you know, oh my God, this person, you know, was you know, doing something brave, working on a site, lost his limb. This is fucked. Or they might have been a pedophile running through a factory.
And got it caught in the meat grinder trying to reach through.
To a kid.
Yeah.
And it's like, are they a victim?
Yeah.
Or are they a bad person? Like, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Darth Vader lost his limbs. And he's the most evil character we probably have in cinema. He's trying to kill his own kids. He's fucking blowing up planets. He's trying to just like he wants to destroy freedom in a galaxy. And he's just a torso. He's an evil torso, you know, and his boss, the Emperor, is a burns victim. He was electrocuted.
If he was alive now, he'd be running marathons, you know?
Yeah. When you say running marathons, you mean like in the suit?
I guess, yeah. like they'd probably create those legs.
The Blade Runner.
The blade
Well,
legs.
you look at Pistorius. Remember him?
Yeah.
He murdered his wife, and he was the Blade Runner. So is he like, is he good, bad? I mean, obviously he's bad, but I'm just saying, like, he's like a villain.
Yeah.
Like he's like a Darth Vader equivalent. Like
it's just weird that Disney or whatever just decided to use that trope.
Yeah.
As a thing.
There's loopholes, man. It's the same with dwarves.
Yeah.
For some reason, in all fantasy, again, as we've talked about before, in all fantasy novels, dwarves are a race.
Yeah.
It's like, what? So you've got elves, wizards, orcs, superhumans, weird magical witches. None of them exist in real life to our knowledge. Dwarves are they're dwarves.
Yeah. They
have to be a race. It seems like not fair.
It's like if the Venn diagram of reality and fantasy novels, the intersection is just dwarves.
Dwarves.
They're the one bridge between worlds where we're like, we'll use dwarves as well. It's like, no, but
we have them here.
Yeah.
They're around and shit. You don't see elves around.
No.
So why do fantasy writers always think dwarves are okay to make their own race? It seems unfair on the dwarf community.
It's very similar to the pirate thing.
It is.
But it's like, we'll use amputees as the bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I never thought of it like that.
It is. It's just this interesting, and it's almost like that's what made them evil too.
Right. It's part of their evilness is
like you get burnt and you're like, fuck everyone.
And that's when they become evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking burnt.
That's what the Emperor in the Star Wars is like. Emperor Palpatine. He's like the main bad guy.
He was well adjusted before that.
He was a regular politician.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone listening knows the Star Wars history. I'm not a total nerd about it, but I do know that the Emperor's character, he was a politician.
Yeah.
That's how he rose to power, like a regular politician. And like a regular politician, he electrocuted himself trying to murder innocent people.
Yeah.
Which I think probably would happen a lot to politicians.
Like Barnaby Joyce putting a knife in a toaster. Trying to retrieve a crumb. Like, ah. I mean, he's sunburnt. But if he was actually burnt.
Yeah. He would be like the Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Emperor seemed like a pretty well-adjusted guy, didn't he? In the earlier Star Wars, the ones that people don't like, the new ones.
Yeah, when he's a senator, Palpatine.
He's a senator.
Yeah.
And then he gets electrocuted and he becomes a lot more evil. Again, the victim, the burns, that's what makes him evil.
Same with Hook. He's like that fucking whale or crocodile or whatever. You know, he wants to fuck that crocodile up.
Mm. And then it's like, oh, now he's evil because he's missing an arm or a hand or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's wrong. But medieval reenactments, getting back to the point anyway, fascinate me. Because, like, why do people want to do medieval reenactments, in your opinion? Like, what is that about? Like, what is that? Because you know how people are obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen improvisers I know dress up and have the sword fight and have the, in the park.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it's focused on the eating. Like a lot of them are morbidly obese. But
yeah, I think it's about the eating. It's about the eating. It's like, but also it's an inverted hierarchy too. The king used to be morbidly obese, and the peasants were ripped.
Right.
Like, the peasants look like they did CrossFit.
I see what you mean.
And the people who do medieval reenactment, they're out of shape enough to reenact being like lords and stuff.
I see. Because in medieval times, fat people were rare.
Yeah.
Because you have to have enough sugar, fat, and meat and bread to become fat was actually difficult.
Yeah.
Like, it was the opposite in medieval times. It was people were trying to get fat, not thin.
Yeah.
Because everybody was ripped because they had no food. They were fasting. Every bath was an ice bath, just jumping in the lake. And then they're pulling carts. Like you see people in gyms.
Yeah, those guys. Have you seen that gym where they pull the ropes? Like that guy's a CEO now.
Yeah. He's doing peasant work.
Yeah.
They flip tires. They drag big carts in the gym. They rip ropes. They pull up. They lift stuff. They're trying to reenact. And so peasants were ripped. They were toned. They were thin. And they were ripped due to fasting, ice baths, and then the lords, the people in charge, the rich people, the people everyone wanted to be, everyone wanted to fuck, everyone wanted to, they were fat because they had money.
Yeah.
They had sweets.
Yeah. It's like that scene in Lord of the Rings where that guy's eating the grapes.
Yeah.
He's eating like the tomato and it like
spills,
squirts and shit. The seeds are flying. Like that. That's the medieval reenactment bit.
Yeah.
They want to reenact that feast of like the tomato just like bursting. And
so you're saying that the medieval reenactors want to be the fat guy that's eating the feast.
The diabetic king.
So you think like the motivation to medieval reenactments is to be a fat person on top again?
Yeah, it's to cosplay as being on the top of the dominance hierarchy.
Whereas in our society now, fat people are like everyone wants to be thin.
Yeah, I mean, you see like a mobility scooter. It looks like a golf cart where they lost the ball in the food court.
Like they're moving around. Like
it's like the ball's not at the KFC. Let's try.
Let's try the McDonald's.
Yeah, let's try Nando's.
Yeah,
it's like just going around. And there's a red flag on the cart though. Not. I don't know, because of golf.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. But it's weird. Like I was reading this book set in the early 20th century,
and
then there was a labourer that was just fully ripped, like fully like sun kissed. Like they even mentioned it, like glistening muscles and like getting sun.
Oh,
and then he was in love with this fair maiden lady that was like pasty and like aristocratic, out of shape kind of, but she's on top of the class system.
Right, yes.
And he's like, if only I could
be with her,
if only to just to talk.
But I can't because I'm poor. I'm not in the class. I'm not.
But he's fully ripped.
Right. Yeah, I remember this book. He's got a big thick neck, they say.
Yeah, he's got like like he's just the bowl. And
that's a turn off.
Yeah, she's like, he's too muscly.
Yeah.
Like he's too tanned.
I remember they were talking about his neck in that book because the fact that he's ripped is a sign that he's a worker.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, his thick neck pushing against his collar. Where the guys that she wanted to be with, the rich people were fucking weak. Like
Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch.
With the pot belly.
Yeah.
Because he's in shape.
Yeah.
It'd be... Basically, this book, it'd be like if Chris Hemsworth was trying to get with Lena Dunham or something.
Right. That would be the,
Like, he'd be like, how do I talk to her, though?
Chris Hemsworth would have been regarded as ugly.
Yeah.
Because he's so ripped.
They would have been like, get back on the cart, you muscly.
Yeah, if you watch him do his workouts and stuff on Instagram, I've seen footage of it. He pushes around a big weight cart.
Yeah, back then he would have been pulling a lord in it.
Yeah.
He would have been pulling...
Yeah. Yeah.
The kings.
Yeah, it would have been shoveling mud and shit, but now that's a workout.
And that's what medieval reenactment is. It's like, let's redo that with us on top.
Yeah, let's be on top again.
Yeah.
Where we can drink custard and stuff and it makes us more powerful.
Yeah. It's good you drink custard and you get to be higher status.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about what you eat, the more you eat, the higher status you go.
Yeah.
As opposed to the less you eat, the harder you work, the more workout you do, the more your abs show, the better.
Well, you go to a suburban food court and get one of the dudes to time travel back. And they start worshipping him.
Yeah.
Like you go up to the mobility scooter guy, put him in like a portal and send him back to the 13th century. Right. And they're like, it's my liege.
My God.
And he comes out motoring it out and they're like, he has a magic chair, my lord.
What is this mask? Is this sleep apnea mask? Is this
special? Is it something? The throne moves. The throne is motorized, my lord. There's some kind of contraption.
Yeah, and look how large he is. This lord must be doing very well.
Yeah.
very well. This KFC, this bucket of food that he's bought from some land we don't know of.
Highly processed.
This diabetes land.
Tentatively linked to colorectal cancer chicken, my liege.
It's weird for him to get that level of detail.
Like they somehow know about like the British Medical Journal, and he comes out just motorized, just out. They would think he was a king.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Double chins, my liege.
Yeah. First of all, he's fat, which is like I said, fucking 1 in a million people would have been fat back then. There was no food or carbohydrates.
Yeah.
So you're like, wow, who is this fat guy? He's in a mechanized machine they've never seen before.
Like a throne.
A throne.
It's a throne that moves.
A throne that moves.
With a joystick.
There'd be other kings like, we need a throne that moves, and they'd be putting wheels on the throne, trying to copy the motorized scooter guy with the weird Australian flag on the throne. You know, the Game of Thrones thing with the swords?
Yeah.
It's like that, but they put it on wheels because they're jealous of the motorized scooter guy.
He's got a flag with a country I've not heard of, my liege.
And they'd be like trying to draw the KFC bucket.
Yeah.
Put chicken in it. They're like, he has a special bucket of...
He is much advanced, my liege. He needs a machine to sleep.
The trans fats cause a mutation in the genes, which can result in cancer, my lord.
He was cooking with sunflower oil. It's a rancid seed oil. Blocks the arteries, my liege.
Rancid seed oil, my liege. That's the key to getting ultra fat, my lord.
He needs a new pancreas.
Seed oils.
Yeah.
Better to cook in animal fat, my lord. Says Jordan Peterson or whatever.
Use animal butters. You should cook in animal butters, my liege. It's better for your artery clearanceness. They're clogged. They put leeches on him, the leech treatment.
Yeah, that would have sucked back then. When
they put leeches on him. It's like, this is what they call me back in Brisbane for being on Centrelink. They call me a leech.
Oh, they're putting leeches on me. That's what they used to call me. A leech on society.
For being a parasite on the infrastructure. For draining the NDIS.
The scum.
Even though I can deadlift this chair. If I need to. Under an emergency.
What the fuck does that mean?
I just mean like he can get out and lift the mobility scooter.
Can he? Why?
Just if they come to do a current affair or whatever, like, I don't know. I don't know what I mean.
I thought that was strange because they were pictured like a really strong guy, and which is a strange, a strong guy in the mobility.
I've contradicted myself.
You've contradicted yourself there in a very amusing way. I could deadlift the mobility scooter. I guess it would be funny to see Chris Hemsworth in one, I guess, and he would be able to do that.
Yeah,
as a show of strength.
Yeah.
You know, there's always those reality shows and prank camera shows where they get like someone really hot, like Chris Hemsworth, and they dress him up to be fat and weird.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, guess what? He's actually really strong and good looking.
You fuckwits. You treated him poorly.
Fucking idiots. You looked down on him, didn't you? Well, guess what? He's actually a millionaire and he's doing really, really, really well.
Yeah.
And you wish you were doing as well as him, but you thought he was just a regular person, you idiots.
They love that apocryphal story.
Yeah.
The guy comes in with gumboots, gets denied the sale of a Ferrari. They're like, get out, you vagrant. Then he buys like the whole store, you know that?
Yeah.
It's like, you shouldn't have judged him.
Yeah.
It's like he was dressed as a tramp though.
Yeah. He was dressed like someone we should judge.
Yeah.
And not allow in the Ferrari store because it's unlikely he'll be able to afford it.
He had a plastic bag with an open can of tuna in it. We judged. Like we judged it.
Yeah. He had that cola, like the LA cola ice or whatever, the cheap cola you get from Kmart.
Oh man, I saw a guy on the train the other day that he just he knew all the prices of all the soft drinks. He's like, Pasito's $1.76.
So he was having a mental schism.
Yeah.
Where he was just saying prices of soft drink.
He's like, I can't wash my food down with alcohol. I need a Pasito.
You sure he's not the CEO of Woolworths?
Doing ads.
Just trying to
meth head.
Trying to memorize his
itinerary.
Just his stock take or whatever. Just stocks. He's like, fucking Coke have put their prices up 3/3 for 5 cents. And then we had Pasito. That was.
Oh, you think it's the CEO having a breakdown?
Yeah. Just on the way home from work, trying to get his prices right.
He was on meth, I think, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was fucked up.
Yeah.
He had a
what do they
pack
call
full of Valium. He was
undercover
like, Valleys.
He said that?
Yeah. They were trading medication.
This is a very strange scene you're painting. So there's a meth head dressed like a vagrant
Yeah.
Rocking back and forth listing the prices of soft drink.
Yeah, well, firstly, they were talking about how they can't wash their food down with alcohol.
Okay.
So he needs like a pasito. Then he started listing the prices of all the soft drinks. He's like, LA Ice, $3.26. So you might as well get 2 pasitos for $1.74.
Wow.
It's like he knew the second decimal place of the soft drink.
That's an interesting
this guy drinks
thing.
A lot.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to sort of focus on.
Yeah.
The prices of soft drink.
People budget at all different levels.
Yeah. Really focus on the soft drink budget, you know?
What do you think would happen if they sent Chris Hemsworth back to the medieval time?
I reckon he would just end up working on a farm, which weirdly, if that was a reality TV show, I would watch.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is there anything more we love in society than to tear down someone?
Yeah.
Like, that's really what we want.
Oh, it's impossible to be happy for anyone. You know, totally. When someone tells you their travel story, it hurts.
It does.
If it's good.
I just went to the bathroom here in this facility where we're taping, and they had the sign where the sign where it's like, here's how to use the toilet, and then there's a cross through the one where the dude's standing on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, don't stand on the toilet, like sit on it. That just made me nostalgic for travel.
Yeah.
Because you only ever see that in foreign countries.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, don't stand on the toilet. You know the song I'm talking about? Yeah. It's like a dude standing on the toilet. It's like, don't.
I've seen it in like airports.
Yeah. It just makes you, it made me nostalgic for travel. Don't stand and shit.
Yeah.
You idiot. That's how the Australians would do it.
Don't get a standing desk to take shit.
It's like this. It is. Yeah. It'd be better for your posture.
Yeah, to shit standing
Yeah,
up.
Even in the sign, I looked at it and it was like the cross through the guy sitting, and you could see his back, like squat position.
I like seeing crosses over things that aren't cigarettes.
Yeah, right.
It's like, don't cigarette and don't crouch. Well, shit, like they're the things we can cross out.
Yeah, they were both in the toilet. It's like, don't smoke in here and don't crouch and shit and stand on the toilet in a weird way.
If you're going to travel, behave.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got the dude sitting, he's slumped over, he looks more pathetic, bad for the back and so on.
You might as well do yoga on it.
Yeah, yoga's tick. Like, that's okay. Downward dog on the toilet. And it's got someone like in a weird position where their hands are like, and then their feet are on top of the toilet. Like, it's a crazy.
Doing Pilates.
Yeah.
And just diarrhea coming out of their ass. Yeah, it would never have occurred to me to crouch like that. It does look like child's pose.
Doing
it looks like child's pose. Like the child's pose you do at the end of the yoga.
Yeah,
like, you know, when you're taking a shit. It's like someone finished a yoga class.
That's the thing. In Western society, it would never occur to us to stand on the toilet.
Yeah.
That's how different cultures are.
You
know?
Yeah.
We forget that. It would never occur.
That's why I think I've noticed weirdos will often date people who speak English as a second language.
It's an interesting theory.
Because I think they can hide how strange they are in the cultural barrier.
Right. I feel like this is coming from a personal, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like that you don't have like the sample size required to know what an outlier is.
I see what you say. So you're saying someone who has broken English can date someone like you, hypothetically.
Yeah.
Because they don't know you're strange because they don't speak your language as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're like going, yeah, no, I like to take photos of the train. And they're like, train, I think like they don't understand that what you just said is weird.
Well, the only photos I've ever taken are of a Lime bike to end the ride.
Right.
Because you have to take a photo to go like, I didn't throw it in a river.
Right. So your phone is just that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, oh, he takes photos of green bikes.
Green scooters. Yeah. And people would hear them say that because their English is a second language.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you sound as weird. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because you just attribute it to lost in translation.
Lost in translation.
You're like, no, it was lost in translation.
Yeah. He was an Australian. He took photos of bikes and trains exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he'd often...
It's a cultural thing.
He had no friends
to do with that.
Yeah. And all he talks about is killing himself. And
yeah.
Yeah. He's just an Australian thing. That's what I took from the culture.
He thinks a possum is a rat.
Right.
He calls it a big rat.
It's like strange things.
It's like if you meet a Brazilian, they could and they're weird.
Mm.
You don't know if they're just Brazilian. They could be like the Jar Jar Binks of Rio de Janeiro.
I see what you mean. If you go to Rio de Janeiro and you meet a Brazilian, and they're trying to speak English and you don't understand, you're going to take them as the ambassador for the culture.
Yeah, you're just going to be
they could be a fucking weirdo.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They're like, oh, we go over here to piss near the docks. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. Like, that's what everyone does.
Yeah.
That was a strange example, to be fair, but.
Well, if he shits crouching, you're like, it's a Brazilian thing. He crouches.
But it's like one of the countries where they don't do that.
And it's like, he's the weirdest guy in the village. You just met him first.
Yeah, you met a very strange guy. That's not all of us.
You met an outlier.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell because of the cultural barrier.
Because you wouldn't just be like, this one's the weird one.
No, you never would.
Because it's like meeting an alien race.
So what you're trying to say in a really roundabout way is the only hope for you to date is to date someone who doesn't understand the culture or language.
Yeah, absolutely. Because otherwise it's all your fault. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise it's your fault.
Right, yeah.
It's who you are as a person.
Because another Australian would go like, nah, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
It is strange that he photographs those bridges.
Yeah.
And that's all he has in his camera or whatever.
Yeah, but if now it's all on you.
Fantastic.
So that's a life hack.
Yeah, it's good to end on a life hack. Get that out there. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and I hope you got something out of that for your lives, and I hope your lives are going well. And thank you for listening. And we'll be back, won't we, Rathi?
Oh yeah,
yeah, we love it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.